We are live. Just gonna get my links up and then post them everywhere, and we'll be good to start. Got no music playing, but whatever, I don't care. I have played it before. Just set it there, I guess. To the current time, it is 6:25 p.m. Okay. Just turn this down a little bit, so I'm actually able to be heard.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-bending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Close the door.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Yeah, first ending. I've only been playing for 7 minutes.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
There are no
Hit the
trophies
door
for this
5
game.
times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants range.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No. I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Door 420. Let's go.
Ooh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Is the narrator just gonna keep cutting himself off?
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Narrator. Narrator, you good, man. You good.
Now, back to door number 437.
Stop cutting yourself, bro. Stop cutting yourself off.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's deck. Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it. Now the copy machine. Do that one again.
Narrator, seriously.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430.
for it.
Wow, that felt amazing.
Oh, I did.
You really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far
And I got a
we've
trophy
come
for getting a
together.
trophy.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered,
He entered the door
on
on
his
his left. So I'll go to the one on the left. I'll be a good boy.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Can't jump,
Feeling
shut
a
up.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Nope.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I don't know if you had anything, Mario.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't
Okay.
occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
The broom closet.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Hey!
He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen.
Hey, they changed they changed the text for this.
The responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby?
I have headphones
The
on.
person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their plate, making sure
destination, the exact same spot.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
Oh, I know
so
it
he
doesn't.
relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
It wasn't. I love the narrator. I've already played like the
Descending
entire
deep into the
game
building,
on my
Stanley
PC, but I
realized
don't
he
have a
felt
PC
bit
anymore.
peculiar.
So I bought it on
It was a
PlayStation
stirring
just
of
to stream
emotion in
it.
his chest, as though he
Because
felt
I'm
more
smart.
free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Should I fall off? I can fall off. Should I do it? I had no choice apparently. Got pushed off.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game, with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You
Oh,
won't hear it
let's go.
anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's
A
how special you
secret?
are. We call this track Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a
Thank you.
bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it.
But again, no comments about the curse on my screen because I know it's there.
Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
And game reset because ending. Great. right? I got 2 endings already.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it be?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I have
Stanley came to
Chef
a
the
set
cake
of
boss.
2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Right, you know what? You can pick for me. Where do I go? Left? Right.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Well, you got a mop bucket with no mop. You got a goth broom. You got a spanner. A wrench. Some rope. Some tape. It's a good room. I don't want to.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad, Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill Surprise.
Can't even press the number pad anymore. Oh, I can. Eight. I did that for the trophy. It won't show up, but I got a trophy. Hey, it swallows me down here already. Careless Surprise.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
No, he did not. Was he a
Now the
stand
monitors
witness?
jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
427, right there. Don't zoom in button because this is a Half-Life mod, not a Portal mod, but whatever.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I'm not getting in that lift. Stanley did.
Utterly blind to the world.
Sad.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Haha. I win. I won the game.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of a new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Damn. Stanley was happy. Not me. I'm not Stanley. Oh, a trophy. There is no freedom for Stanley. You're very correct. Stanley gets no freedom. Just like me. Actually, I'm lying. I'm on my holiday. And I'm back in the office. There is no hope for Stanley. He stays in his office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to
You are
a set of
correct.
2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
No.
He might find an answer there.
No, not my broom closet. Not the broom closet. My broom closet is gone. I can't go in the broom closet. They barricaded it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
One,
All
two,
because he
B,
believed
4.
everyone had vanished.
not. That's not supposed to happen.
Enjoy this
That's
if I'm
not.
still lucid.
That's not supposed to happen. How did I just fall through the ground? Well, that's not supposed to happen.
How long was I sitting there?
Wha-
Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I am going to clip the hell just happened. Give me a quick second. Right? Oh, okay. I'll go
This
right.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yeah. Close the door. I can't close the door, never mind. Last time I tried to close the door, it bugged.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Me.
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
It is why everyone left. I'm too in love with my employee lounge, that's why. Why not
Stanley
leave?
said, but at last he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
No. Haha!
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
Haha!
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you?
Damn
What a
it.
silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
God damn it. Whoa, you're not supposed to talk
All
like
his
this.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yes. Whiteboard ending. I got the whiteboard ending. man.
the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room.
Oh,
Thank
I
goodness
thought the
Stanley
couple was
had
gonna
taken
say.
this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
What the pa? What the pa? What the pa?
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make... Come on. I'm sure you'll survive the jump. Don't tell me you're scared. That's not the Stanley I know. Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
If I land on those boxes, they might break my fall. Aha!
Whoops.
Oh.
Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
I fell like 2 feet and I broke my legs and died. Really? 2 feet. 2 feet. I fell. 2 feet. I died.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone.
Oh my
Finally.
God, Stanley.
This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Haha.
I guess this is where Stanley felt he needed to be right now, in this little hallway. Here, with no distractions, to study room 417. Not to actually enter it. No, 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 no. That would be far too forward. Stanley wanted to know it from the outside, to see it not just with his eyes, but with his heart. He would know room 417 as no man or woman had ever known an office before. That ladder over there. Oh, and that little picture of a horizon or something. It's all just a never-ending parade of joy for Stanley.
Yes, this is the new broom closet. I also hate Mondays. I'm streaming on a Monday though.
No, apparently not. When Stanley came to a set
Yeah,
of
blah, 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 on the way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yo. I broke it. I've broken the game twice today.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Oh my, he keeps cutting himself off. Damn it, narrator.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
content?
Oh, new content. What does that mean, new content?
We're going on an adventure.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
I own this on my laptop actually, but
It was
sure.
expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable,
Yo,
delighting
more content.
audiences the world over.
Injected into the game.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Are we going up?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Great.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes, I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks, just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Let's do it. The end is never the end. Is never the end. The end is never the end. That's... Ooh, okay, this is not the Stanley Parable I know.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork. No, never mind. You're not a dork.
Damn, narrator. You know what? No. Fine. You don't have any more dialogue for me? You're boring. You're boring, narrator. You're boring. I feel like that was an Among Us reference. Among Us.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special, and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap
Pressurized gas.
PlayStation port?
Doesn't say Steam.
Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Los Angeles Times in June 2013. Stanley Parable deals tough choices.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now.
Persona 3.
A lifeless
Really?
husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Stanley Parable.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation, boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
They added extra lines. I love this game. The serious room! That's where the narrator goes to be serious.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine.
You can't
what's
even
been
say
collecting
Steam,
down
are you
here.
kidding?
Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining.
Funny?
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Can't even say Steam. Really, they have to say Pressurized
Okay, let's
Gas.
see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
You're preachy.
This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes,
Created a room out
we
thin
shall
out.
have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable
That
monologue,
is
and it goes something like this.
so relatable.
The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not
You
that, of
just-
course, you need a description of it, but if I had
That
to
was
describe
just a
it,
whole bunch of
I'd say it
nonsense.
was perhaps
Shut up.
well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of softness. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time
12 hours?
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door,
1,000?
Stanley. There's no door. There's... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley,
Narrator?
It's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think
Oh,
that's
narrator.
just how it's always been, right? Me talking, you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what... Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt
I don't
nothing
care. Narrator? Narata? He's dead. Beep. Oh, the fire alarm's go. Why is the fire alarm going off in game?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It
Oh,
was meant to
hi.
have a point. It
Hi,
was meant
narrator.
to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much. They said, first, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the...
Oh god, I killed him again. I killed the narrator again. Oh, so pipes are leaking.
The end is
Oh,
never
he's
the
back.
end.
He's back.
Is never the end. Is never the end.
Is never the end, 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 never the end, is never the end, is never the end, never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Oh, that's really leaking now. He's also dead again. Oh, what happened? Stanley, what have you done? Like I'm not Stanley. Stanley! I do it. The sun? The sun exists? Oh, vegetation. Marijuana. And sunlight doesn't exist anymore. Green. Those screams, I don't like it. I'm just gonna keep pressing this button. Oh, that was disorienting. Button. The button, the workies. Oh, that's bright. I get guess it's time for Westworld. It's Westworld time. The end is never the end, is never the end. How far have I walked? I already feel like I've been walking for hours, but I've only been streaming for an hour. Oh, it's cut out. What happened? I don't trust new content anymore. I should eat my Jaffa Cake bar. Oh, I'm back.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
New content. I trust it.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
New content. That's more trustworthy than new content.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step
further.
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever
The Stanley Parable 2. Nice. Stanley Parable 2 10.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with
New
a few
mug.
minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions.
They got Max
This
now.
is what fans have truly been asking for.
Testing 2 printers at the same time. And then they printed it wrong. Two consent forms. It's time to wake up. Welcome. 427. The end is never the end again.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2,
Taste the
that's
sequel.
an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
What do we think the sequel tastes like? What does the sequel taste like? Seriously. Taste the sequel. What does the sequel taste like? I won't drink it unless I know. Two. Windows 10. Let's go. Ah, yes. We need 2 chairs. We need 2 watercolors. We need 2 of these images. Okay, my game lagged and I walked into a window. New mug. Part 1. straws. New mug. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me before I have my sequel. This is my second cup. Two sides of the brain with an E. Two thirds.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is
I have.
going to be.
The Lemon and Lime
Let's
sequel.
Take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Who took the red marker? Me. I love this game. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, which is City, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2 Return of Jafar, Dark Souls 2. Okay, but like, not all of them were good. This way to the show floor. New features? A bus?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Hear your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button, which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
Okay.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's going to say my name.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
I
Just
am
play along.
Jim.
I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
I am
want you
Jim.
to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I am Jim.
If so, then please step forward and press the button. Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again. Oh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Oh, there,
Jim.
cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim. I am Jim. Fire in my face and hit my
I
headphones.
suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2.
The button that says Jim.
Finishing this feature.
The button that says Jim. You are Jim in the game. Who? The Stanley Parable 2. Reassurance Bucket. Well, that is very
A common
interesting.
complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact,
It's a
can I say
bucket.
that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable too.
I have a bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That
Yes.
really should be an award if it isn't already. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
What should I go with? Get well someday, or happy 12th birthday, Stepnies. Okay.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Oh.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
We got the blue one. It's a hole. That's the opening of the hole. That's the rim. Surrounding area. And that's the depth of the hole, which is infinite.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue on.
No. Nope, I refuse. We will go as far as we need to.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
I will only just sit here with the hole and the bucket.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it
I'll
a
land
very,
in the
very
bucket.
deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually
Well, I don't know what fell, but that was scary.
No. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole. I didn't think it was that
Not infinite.
Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Yep.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing that... Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
A very aggressive divot.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
I'm pressing it, narrator.
Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
Narrator?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of your trip.
Narrator, you bitch. Well, I'm upset now. Oh. Well, that is a whole lot of fun. Oh, I'm going somewhere. Stanley. You know, I want to look at Stanley's face. I'm at the Moai Heads. I'm in the desert. I am in the mountains. I'm in the sky. I am microscopic. I'm in a fairy tale. I'm in a hole. A red hole. Under the dirt. With puppies. In space. Upside Down, Morty, Buff, Big Head, An Error, Draw, Weird, Regular. I'll be upside down. Hey.
Good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreaming. We can't do that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
Get me out of the hole, narrator.
I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle.
Oh.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
What trophy?
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stan, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feat. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Haha. Stanley.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Huh. Stanley.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I know, right, narrator? Don't reward me for putting in hard work. Gosh.
Alright, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now? So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect.
Nothing
With
tasteful with
care
you,
for the
narrator.
vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? Well, I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Take a look. No. What if I don't want to take a look? Not at all. Eat my biscuits. Because I can. The Stanley Parable 2.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big
Balloons.
building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, of every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-making, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for
Stanley is
nearly
happy
an
at
hour
work.
when he realized that not
Yeah, okay, we can skip that. It's the same.
all
Balloons!
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
My phone locked. I need that open.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps. No, never mind.
The bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
No, I think I'm gonna get a mini Stanley.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Could I just get one in real life? Like, I want one of Stanley. I want a figurine of Stanley. Bucket Man. Bucket Man.
Okay, this is day number 295. Take number... I don't even know. I've lost track.
But you wrote it on there.
Feels real this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down, it doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it.
Bucket.
I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
That was scary. I thought this was a light-hearted game.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something?
It's not
He
that
hoped
bright.
it was. He hoped very much that it was.
What? A meeting today for the Figurine Finders Committee.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
I've already got the trophy.
5 times?
I
Is
got
that
the
all you
bucket
think
this
the trophy
time.
is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times.
No.
I would say
No.
that's the kind of effort.
No, I've got the bucket. It should be different. If I got the bucket, it's
Stanley
different.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Whoa. Stairs. Something to do with stairs. Some are both red and blue. I think I can do this. Trust the completionist instinct. Is that written with blood? That is terrifying.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
No.
You can feel that, can't
No.
you?
No.
The aura of jealousy.
It can't
It's
have
as
the
clear
bucket.
As day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be.
given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you
Don't
have to be
take the
strong.
bucket.
This is
Don't
your
take the
This
bucket.
is your companion and lifelong friend. Can't hand it over. Getting into name calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined.
I want the
Now,
bucket.
broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends.
No,
That your
the bucket is
relationship
my
purely
friend.
superficial and convenient.
No,
That your
no.
life is so banal and meaningless that
No.
you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner. Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years.
I love you,
There you
bucket.
have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now, sir, no more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike up the closet with your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. Alright, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I think it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Okay. You know, are there more stickers? Because I think I need more.
I could take the name calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the... But now, the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Yes! Bitch closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanleries?
I
Yes,
want a
I
Stanlerine.
think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
I got me a Stanlerine. Oh, we're here.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlets. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by one? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
I prefer Stanlerines, but that's just me.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth the guiding light?
Is it
cast the
raining?
dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always. The bucket. And he knew it. The two
Yeah, it's a figure and the ring.
And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
Fractions.
We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all.
But we have them all
You
yet.
can't go back to when you had no Figler and Lorines. None of us can.
I have all the figure and the rings nearly. I just am missing one. I know where my last figure and Lorraine is. That's a really fucking hard word to say.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Bucket, bucket, bucket,
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Bucket, 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 bucket.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place
Bucket.
hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
No. No, I don't want to be up here. Hear me, game, hear me, I don't want to be up here. I want to drop to my death.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Yeah.
Now, what to do next, Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed.
Oh, hell yeah.
It really wasn't so bad down here. A bit cold, perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. Unsettled the bucket.
Oh.
Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Bucket. I got me a bucket. Bucket.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something?
It's a sign that you
He
should
hoped
suck
it
my
was.
dick.
He hoped very much that it was. The confusion and the
Stupid
chaos
narrator.
all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling
to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose
What
that
is a
would explain lot
bucket?
about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So
Are
much of
we
the
a
impact of the
bucket?
story is
I
dependent
don't know if
on
we
your
are a bucket.
understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Is this a
Now
bucket?
then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yeah, I think that's a bucket.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Hey! Doesn't make it any less of a bucket.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yes, it's a bucket.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
Yeah, I think that's a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket.
I knew it was a bucket.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
It both is and isn't a bucket. Are you kidding?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
Uh-oh. No buckets. No
What
bucket, no game.
Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket? My God, I had no idea. except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is
I'm not a
wonderful
bucket?
news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful.
I'm
There's
not a
clarity
bucket.
on that
I
issue,
win.
but it doesn't change
I'm
the
a
fact
god. I'm not a
that we
bucket.
haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Okay.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person. All right, here we go.
Your playlist. You're a bucket. Everything is a bucket playlist.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
God damn it, playlist. What? Oh, that's not a. That's not normal. Really, Dad? Really? I'm gonna be right back. Guys, don't cause too much trouble while I'm gone. I'm back. What'd you guys do?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Why are you lying?
Really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone... Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have
I'm not
zero
going
consideration
insane,
for others?
playlist.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly Wiggly.
This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud Instead, I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
I got the last Stiggly Wiggly. Now have every Stiggly
Now
Wiggly.
listen carefully, this is important.
Stanley walked through the red door. No, he didn't. Because I like Sonic.
Perhaps you misunderstood.
Oh,
Stanley walked
Yeah,
through
blue.
the red door.
the door is blue.
I still don't think we're communicating properly.
Stanley walked through the red door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see, there's nothing here.
Should be something here. I got all the Stiggly Wigglies.
Because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
Yes.
Was it worth ruining the entire story I'd written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
More Stiggly Wigglies.
Take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try.
Teach me.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this.
I should not be drinking something called Curiosity Cola. Well, I believe my dad said it in the chat when I'm
Would you say
eating.
that competitive leaderboard helps you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours.
Am I really gonna sit 4 hours
of play
clicking the
to make
button?
sure it's effective. Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
This might get annoying. I might just let it burn. I don't have the motivation to sit here for 4 hours clicking a button. I don't care. Burn! Burn! hate the noise. I hate the noise, narrator.
Single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Hey, I'm playing Firewatch.
Ah, fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
It's called Firewatch.
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man, spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your crypta, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game.
If you want to skip some part of the law.
Let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
No, not Fireworks. Oreo. No. It's not Fireworks. Firewatch. There are no fireworks in the Stanley Parable or in Firewatch. There's only Firewatch. No fireworks, a Firewatch.
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off.
No!
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley, what a close call. You really wandered off into that thing, that big, open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You could just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Playlist, I can't tell if you're talking about kids or Firewatch at this point. Rocket League.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what
Sports
fun.
ball.
We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Haha, ball. Yes.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Oh, narrator, that's too many balls. There's too many balls, narrator.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
You're a bitch, narrator. You're a bitch. Suck my dick. Sports ball!
Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley.
Let him cook. Let him cook. I entered the wrong pin into my phone. I wonder who's gonna get message 100. Some 5 messages. Seven.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now.
Aha.
I wonder if he's happy with his choice.
Oreo got 100.
And the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Was that sports ball? Well, that ain't normal.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figlets. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Then I remember when Stanley found the collectibles.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
That's not how fractions work. That's not how fractions work, narrator.
And here was a second Stanlerine. this one all on your own, just by poking around in the warehouse. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your 3rd mini stand? Can you remember?
What was this one? It was in the square hole.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, under the stairs. It was the 3rd one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your 3rd time doing anything. Let's see.
Science tells us.
Oh yes, we found a figly in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
This ain't happened. Or you were here basically the whole stream. Like, I don't remember that.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was behind the boss's office. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Windows Movie Maker. Windows Movie Maker. Really, narrator. Stand there. Thanks for watching. Stand there. Best boy is narrator.
I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was
Big
8
narrator.
minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
8 minutes. 8 minutes of Windows Movie Maker. Not there.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for
Is that
the
a
moments
paint
making
bucket?
the figurines, which it was exactly like. And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment.
Fair.
Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Goodbye, Memory Zone.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
The Memory Zone again.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the
No,
video we
don't
watched?
do it. Don't do it.
Yes, I love that video.
God damn it.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
It is a solid room. That's an apple statue.
These really
Oh,
were
excuse me, more.
done. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation.
divisible by
What
3.
came before this? Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memory. Oh, yes, the 2 doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office.
Why has my chair moved? My chair wasn't there before.
Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling this story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Wow. Memory. Raizeer-A. Okay. So, be honest here, guys. Who put all the paper on the floor?
Stanley
Playlist,
had never
God
seen the office this
damn it.
brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it
Why did you
was.
leave so much paper?
That it was.
Where's so much paper? Why is there so much paper?
Spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
That's too much. That's too much.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
See, I can't reboot the game because it will close the stream. So next stream, which will probably be tomorrow, I will go through whatever this is. How about that, guys? Well, I'm not about to restart the entire stream.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong.
It's not my
Surely
bucket.
no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts
Where'd
of
the
bizarre
bucket go?
hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. Now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed.
Oh,
Without
no.
my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket! Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next.
Buckets.
None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley. Find me. He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
That's
It was
gay.
incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he got mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Backflipped? Oh goodness. I can't even do one.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. When Stanley
flip.
came to a set of two
Do a
open
flip.
doors,
You
he
got
knew
this.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was.
The lounge.
What a room, Stanley thought to himself. What a room, what a room, what a room. This is what Stanley thought. What a room. What a room, what a room. What a room. Va-va-voom. What a room.
Alright, do you guys want blue or orange?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit
Blue?
looking at
Alright,
these
alright, I got
chairs
you.
and some
I'll get
paintings.
blue for you.
Really worth it. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I think we'll get one more
And so
ending
he
and end the
detoured
stream.
through the maintenance section,
We'll get the
walked straight
longest
ahead
one
to
in the
opposite
game.
door and got back on track.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Yep, left.
Oh, no.
Oh,
It's to the
okay.
right, my mistake.
Right, yep, no worries.
No,
Nope, okay.
not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Let's see, we went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
From the top.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The buckets are gone.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh.
That's too many doors.
What, did something change? Stanley...
That's too
did you
many
change
doors.
anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
Oreo, this is your
Leave
fault.
the story somewhere,
Straight up.
or hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a
You were
minute ago. I know
You
for
want
sure
filing
it's here
cabinets.
somewhere.
Yeah, that's your excuse for
It's an adventure.
all these
Come, Stanley.
doors, is
Let's
it?
find the story.
These doors are all your fault, and you know it. Why have you ordered so many doors? Okay. I don't want to listen to a sign.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely
They were
was
on
a story
sale.
here before.
Too many doors.
Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again. But it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay, restart the game. Why not? Why not? All his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Stanley
Then he decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Where did they go? Where did all the doors go?
It's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew
Whoa.
we missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our step. Now this... Well, I'll be honest,
Pink
I don't
bucket.
recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yeah, I won.
Congratulations!
GG's.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Buckets. Buckets. The Stanley
All right,
Parable 2
I've got a solution.
Adventure.
This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that? You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Aha. Da 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 Payday 2. Da 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 da. That doesn't science very well.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
I think I've counted every leaf on that. Got it.
Wait, but we're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore.
Fired.
Hell with it.
a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask...
All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle.
Yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, you consulted me. Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it.
I won't do it. I won't do it.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
All these squares make a square.
So, okay.
All these squares make a rectangle. All these squares make a rectangle.
That this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Do it. Hold this. Okay. Okay. Alright, you know what? I'll go get all these inputs done, and then I'll end the stream.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Don't worry, I got this. I will fix it. Yeep.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Is that the Grim Reaper?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And the final input should be right here. And was gonna get comment 200. I support your decision was a 200th comment. Isn't it funny? Right. Well, I am going to end the stream here. I would go over everything like I usually do at the end of every stream. But we did so much. Much more than my Persona streams, where I do like 5 things a stream and it would cost me 3 hours. So yeah. I'm gonna end the stream here. See you guys and appreciate it for coming.